You guys are bearing with me. I promise that the PowerPoint and the Zoom is harder than the program. So tonight we just want to talk about what it is that you need and that what I'm going to do here for you to be your coach. And some of you have been with me before. Oh, yeah, quite a few of you. And we have some exciting new things that we're going to do this time that are really going to be helpful to you. One being, I'd really like to introduce using a continuous blood glucose monitor so you can actually see in real time for you how your blood sugar is being affected, because that means good mental clarity. That means good energy. That means less inflammation, so less knees and backs hurting. That means more optimal skin clarity. It means your hair is going to grow better. If we can keep your glycemic index even, less bloating, better digestion. Do those all sound like something you might be up for?
Yeah.
Okay, how does that work? Yeah. So our mission is to help you to have evidence-based, personalized approach to weight loss and well-being. So it's not always about weight loss. Sometimes some people, they're looking to gain muscle. Some people are just looking to get their mind back. Other people are looking to reduce pain. And that's what retooling your metabolism is all about. To be able to gain muscle mass, even as we age, you don't have to lose all your muscle mass. And we know that if we're going to stay healthy and playing with our grandkids and playing with our kids and traveling, that we need to keep our muscle mass, because that's the very thing that will send us into needing assistance or assisted living or even skilled care nursing, is when you can't lift your own self up and transfer. So we want to keep those muscles strong. And we also know that muscle dictates metabolism. And so as we age, if we're not intentional, many times our metabolism will slow, which affects our thyroid, which affects our energy. And if you don't have the energy to meet life's demands, guess what? You miss life. So we could say muscle is energy and energy is life. Because if you're saying, I don't want to go with my kids or my grandkids because I'm too tired tonight, you're missing life. If you say, I don't want to go play pickleball with all my friends because I just don't have enough energy, you're missing life. So our motto is really going to be all about gaining muscle so we can gain energy so we gain our life back. Does that make sense? Okay. So these are some folks who have done this in the past. Looks like, are you in the middle of the screen for you, Joni? Do I need to move that, or are you, there we go. We'll just move us over there. Perfect. This is Dory Gass. These are people who have actually done this program. Now, this program used to be called Transitions Lifestyle System. And as all words in the world take on new meanings, transition took on a new meaning. So we changed our name to GoTrim Lifestyle. Okay, same basis, but GoTrim probably describes more of what we do. We're helping people to trim down the fat, regain muscle. All right, so here's Dory. She lost 35 pounds with GoTrim, but you can see she actually gained muscle while she was doing this. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to make you into a gym rat necessarily. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why is it not going forward now. It was going forward a minute ago. I moved you, Joni, and that changed it. I'm going to move you back. I just do not understand why we're having so many troubles tonight, but because this is going to be a life-changing thing for people. So that's why it's having so much trouble telling you about it. So Sherry lost over 20 pounds and 10 inches down in her waist in 3 months. Trim Cafe is her favorite. Tonight you're drinking Trim tea. How do you like that?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, and in summer, I know in North Dakota in 2 days it's going to be winter, but most people love trim sweet tea in the summer, and then you can just heat it up for winter here. And the rest of you are probably still having summer for a few more months. So this is Mark Anthony Roach. He started with just detox for 7 days, and then he decided to do the 30-day jump start. And he actually lost inches, but gained weight because he gained muscle. And muscle does weigh more than fat does. So, what are your goals? Only you really know. But we've talked about a lot of different goals. I think that all of us would like to get control over our relationship with food. I think we'd all like to come home at 5 o'clock and go, it's not hard to make this meal that I've already intentionally made. I also am going to be doing some meal prepping lessons about how you could make like 6 breakfasts and have them in the fridge. And all I got to do is take them out and warm them up. That way, we're going to get your protein load right away in the morning, which we're finding that's super important for controlling appetite and for setting and establishing how your metabolism is going to operate that day. Okay. So feel stronger and leaner, improve your performance, whether that athletic performance is playing basketball with your kids or scooting a train around on the floor with your grandkids, or it's just being able to go for a walk in these beautiful fall days. The problem with traditional diets is that we have had all these diets come out in the United States, and our obesity rate has tripled since 1975. And it's not just tripled for adults, it's also tripled for children. So, all of you in this room can remember when you were in grade school. And do you remember anyone having type 2 diabetes or really struggling with a lot of weight in grade school? And today, if we went to the grade school playground, we would see, Sally, you just picked up a kid today, didn't you, from school? And I bet you saw some kids who were struggling with their weight there. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. So I have found that if we help the food purchaser of the household change their education and know what to buy, that we can literally bring change to the whole household and to relatives. And Thanksgiving's coming soon. Wouldn't you love to know some recipes that you could bring that everybody would love and say, hey, I want that recipe, and know that it's healthful instead of having to unbutton your pants or put your stretchy pants on after the meal, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about that.
I
And
just wear them all the time.
the stretchy pants. Yes, yes. So yo-yo dieting is also something that we lose the weight, then we gain it back, and we lose the weight, and you gain it back, and then you have to have a bigger size in your closet for when you gain back the weight and you're the exact same weight, but you're a bigger size. That was always my problem. I was a 3-time lifetime member of Weight Watchers, and I would lose the weight, and then when I gain it back, my 135 was actually a size 12 instead of a size 10. And then I'd lose the weight, and then I'd gain it back, and my 145 was a size 13, 14, right? And so I don't know if you've ever had that frustration, but when you severely restrict something like carbohydrates, then when you reintroduce them, even good carbohydrates into your diet, like fruit and vegetables, your body doesn't really know what to do with them, and it stores it as fat because you've become carbohydrate sensitive. And these are some of the things we're going to talk about. What's actually going on in your body? Is your body able to digest and process food into energy for you? So we're not going to talk about extreme exercise or diet pills here, but we're going to talk about sustainable habits and ways to actually hack your blood sugar. Like if you decide you do want to have the ice cream, what could we do to actually bring your blood sugar into alignment when you do that? Okay. And we'll talk about fiber and protein and fats and how they combine together. And this is why tonight when I get done, I'm going to ask who would like to take that extra step and wear a blood glucose monitor on your arm for 2 weeks. It's not forever, it's just for 2 weeks. I did this myself for 2 weeks, and my friend Val and my daughter Hannah, we all did it together, and we were pretty shocked at the things that actually were spiking our blood sugar and the things that were causing us to be stable. So some of you who've been with me in the past, you know that many times grains, especially flour, can cause a blood sugar elevation. Well, we found out with Hannah, she had a chicken wrap, and when she ate the protein and all the vegetables with it, it didn't even blip on her blood sugar. But then she went to work, and that day they served chicken salad, and she crumpled up 3 corn chips on top just to have some crunch in her salad. And that corn drove her blood sugar through the ceiling. And she was like, I am happy to give up corn chips if I can have a flour tortilla. And so some of you who've been down this journey with me too, you've tried different things and you've tried different ways of combining foods. But what we really want to know, especially when you come into those premenopausal and postmenopausal years, is your body has some unique things going on in it. And I found that these continuous blood glucose monitors, if you'll just do it for 2 weeks, I think we'll find is sleep maybe the thing that's driving your blood sugar up because you're waking up all night long? Or maybe is it because you're under significant stress? Or maybe you don't know you're under significant stress. And all of a sudden, you've had an evening where even though maybe it was fun and you had a bunch of people over to your house and your PowerPoint wasn't working, my blood sugar would be going through the roof tonight. So, and it isn't that what I ate today was terrible. It's that these external stressors were taking that same food. And because when you're stressed, your digestion it takes all the blood and sends it to your external muscles, and I'm not digesting that food. So we have some supplements that could help bring that cortisol down so that you could actually process that food more efficiently. Does that make sense? And some of you who've been with me before, you're like, well, I know that supplement, Pam, that's Axe or Bliss. But I never thought about it working in that way to bring my cortisol down, because when your cortisol, the hormone for stress, is high, you're going to store everything you eat as adipose tissue here, or some of you have great storage banks here, depending upon how your body's stored. Does that make sense? Marcy, recently we talked about you with your stress maybe eating away at your tendons and giving you hip issues. And so we're going to talk about how does some of the hormones help us and how do some of them cause more problems? Does that make sense? And so if we give you some golden keys, I think you'll be able to figure out what's going on with you specifically. And these are some of the new conversations we're having with this program, with the new science that's coming out. Okay. So we're looking to continue to hydrate, increase your hydration, which can increase your weight. But if we are losing fat cells and gaining muscle cells and shrinking by the inches, we want to make sure that good hydration is going on, because it's got to process in our digestion. It's got to keep our muscles well hydrated. And that's going to help your metabolism as well, because when you become dehydrated, your metabolism slows down as well. Some of your kidney function and your liver function decreases. So we don't want to have weight gain from being dehydrated. And some diets focus on what to eat, but they don't teach you how to eat. And we want to talk about in this program combinations of foods that actually help your blood sugar to stay stable. Does that make sense? Good. So we want to make sustainable changes for a lifetime of having success. Okay, so not all calories are the same. We just talked a little bit about some creating inflammation. Certainly, if I ate 1,000 calories of chocolate cake compared to 1,000 calories of steak and vegetables, it would not be the same nutrition value. We all know that, right? But we're trying to make the decision between what we think we want and what our tongue is saying we want and what our body's actually needing. Okay, so I'd like to help you listen to your body and respond to what it's asking for with healthy options. All right. So GoTrim offers flexibility to fit your lifestyle, helping you to achieve that long-term success when we understand which products we're doing are helping us and which are hurting us. So the four pillars, the three GoTrim ways that we elevate your health, and then we'll go to the four pillars, is we're going to personalize it to you, how much motivation you have, right? When you two were working together at the hospital and you had all your things you were doing together, you had really high motivation. And I know your lifestyle's changed. Now you're running your grandkids around, and Carla, I haven't found out what you're doing yet. You're still working, but without your buddy. And so we got to find out what your motivation is and how fast you want to go. Some of you are like, I'm going back to Arizona. There's going to be great fruits and vegetables, and food's going to be so cheap compared to Bismarck, right? So you're going to be totally on board with going forward, right? And some of you are like, I'm still working way too many hours and I need quick fixes. And we have a few new things for that as well. So if I'm just going to mention right here in case I forget later, there is a food service program called Factor that is a perfect match for what we're trying to do. If I don't mention it later, I've got the flyer and a code for you to use if you do want some food delivered to your house. And right now they have a coupon code where you can get breakfast for free if you order a certain amount of dinners. So that might be for some of you who really don't want to cook, don't have the time to cook, or you're just, if you want it 2 or 3 times a week, or you want it every day of the week. So we do have food delivery as well. Science-based methods, we're going to talk about the principles, not just passing fads and trends in the weight loss industry, what works, what doesn't work, how we could come alongside you if you're doing some of the more medical assisted, maybe some of the GLP-1 shots. We'll talk about ways to support that. Or if you don't want to do the shots and you're looking just to do it naturally with food and supplementation, we can do that. And then the flexible structure. It's flexible enough that if you're going to go on vacation, Let's say you're going on a cruise, we can widen the gate and add some more supplements to help carry you through that time. And then when you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get back on track. We've done this a few times, right? I think I need to detox for 3 days and just get back in the mojo of where we're going. We can do that too. So these are the four components. We're going to talk about education. We're going to talk about low glycemic impact eating, how the food impacts what your body does with it. We're going to talk about science-based supplementation based on your need, and we're going to talk about improving your body composition through movement. I mean, just simply walking for 10 minutes after you eat your meals will dramatically drop your blood glucose level. And 10 minutes, everybody can do 10 minutes, right? Just down the hall, around the school, down the street. Earl and I have started walking to the mailbox and back. This education piece, we're going to recognize patterns that you have in your life. Do you have some unhealthy patterns? Everybody knows this one. I sit down on the couch to watch a movie and I need popcorn. That's a pattern, right? So maybe we need to change that. Or, when I go to mom's house for Thanksgiving, we always have to have half a pie each. That's a pattern that you've developed, okay? And if you know that pattern's coming, then we can break that pattern with some new habits that we're going to stack. Does that make sense? All right. We're going to practice and implement this new knowledge in real life situations. We're going to be together for 6 weeks, well, including tonight, it'll be 5 weeks going forward. And we're going to reinforce and maintain continuously positive behaviors, having lasting changes. And we're going to track that through a variety of benchmarks, not just weight, but actually measuring around where your belly button is. That's a true marker of what's happening in your system. And we're going to look at what your hydration is. And we're going to measure with a few. I have a new scale coming that I'm super excited about. It will actually measure how much muscle you have in each limb. Some of you maybe have hip problems because you've got more strength in one side than the other. And so then we could detect that. So we're going to empower these healthy habits and nourish the body with the right nutrients. We're going to look at various checkpoints and benchmarks so that we can see, oh, maybe not having my water bottle is really affecting my weight loss because I'm not flushing things through. So I'm going to start taking a water bottle. I'm going to start having my friend check in. We're both going to have water bottles, right? And we're going to live each day looking for that boundless vitality and the unstoppable momentum. I really believe that he's come so that we can have life and life more abundantly. And that's what I want. I want abundance. How about you? I don't want to keep making my world smaller because I'm getting older. I want to continue expanding what I do because I have the energy to do it. So component two is that low glycemic impact eating. We've got to look at the way food impacts your blood sugar. How do we make combinations of food to keep your blood sugar stable? And what tools we can use to get to that place. This is what the heart of TLS is always about. 20 years, Lisa and I have been talking about this. Kim was in one of Lisa's first class ever so long ago at Bismarck State College. Yeah, absolutely. So here's low glycemic impact eating. When you lead a low glycemic impact lifestyle, you don't have to be complicated. It's all about eating enough food to help you burn fat. Okay. And now we can actually measure that with a continuous blood glucose monitor. When you're between 90 and 110, that's the fat burning zone. You can see how much of the day am I in the fat burning zone. All right. You don't have to guess anymore. All right. And it's going to show right on your phone. And even somebody as technology unsavvy as I am have used it and can understand it. But if you skip breakfast, which a lot of us do, and I'm okay, we're going to talk about that window of eating and a window of not eating. But when you skip and all of a sudden your blood sugar starts to dive, now you've kind of lost control and the food noise is really loud in your head. And so you go to the vending machine or you go by the counter and you get the Snickers bar or the Mountain Dew or a big sugar item because you're feeling weak and you want sugar to lift you up either mentally for your dopamine kick in or just to have the energy. What happens is you have a high glycemic moment and that can cause blood sugar spikes. It causes you to leave the fat burning zone. And it literally can cause you to be more crabby, to be more anxious, and drive a lot of mental health things. Then after you have something that's really burns up quickly, what we call it a high glycemic carbohydrate that digests very fast, like bread, like cake, Then what it does is it drops you, and now you're down here with lower energy than you had before. And you've come out of the fat burning zone again. And all you want here is to eat another high glycemic food to drive you out of that low lethargy, brain foggy moment, right? And some of you know people, you could think of them right now. Who are the people that their personality all day long? You don't know if they're going to be happy or grumpy, and they can exchange personalities all day long. And you're thinking, what is going on? Well, their blood sugar is moving all over the place. And this happens with children as well as senior citizens, as well as adults. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. So this is a customized lifestyle. So if you haven't taken the GoTrim quiz, I'm going to have everybody do that on their phone when we're done with this presentation and just kind of check in with where you're at, what's the best fit for you. And we'd like to start the first week, which is next Tuesday, with a detox for 7 days. What that means is we're going to eat proteins and the healthiest carbohydrates, which are fruits and vegetables, and really good fats. And we're going to cut out processed foods and sugars and all those celebratory foods that you get at the center of the grocery store or at your favorite delicatessen or bunt place in town. And just for 7 days, we're really going to focus on nutritious food so we can give your liver a break, because the liver is actually the organ that decides where's the energy going to come from. And if your liver is toxic, you're never going to get rid of this inner tube around your waist. Okay. So we got to get the liver, we got to send it to the spa for a week and just give it the most nutritious food that's the easiest to digest and let it clean out itself and clean out the blood so that when we start putting all this good food back in and we start measuring how that works, we'll actually have a really well functioning liver. Does that make sense? Questions about that? You guys have been down this road with me before. If you've been down this road too long ago, Lisa, we used to think we had to cut out protein during that week, but we found you need that for stage 2 detoxification. So we're adding protein back in, but real clean, lean meats. And we'll give you a list of the foods to go grocery shopping. We'll give you recipes to cook the foods. And if you're having a hard time, we do have this Factor company you can order the meals from if you wish. But my wish for you is that you would go to the grocery store and be able to read labels and know which foods to buy. Does that make sense? All right. So the third component, those science-based formulations of supplements, we have even more than we had in the past to help. And we're going to talk extensively about those. But if you take the quiz, you'll see which ones are recommended for you. These are some of the supplements that we have available to help you. Some of them deal with stress, some deal with energy, some retool your metabolism, some help build that GLP-1 hormone in your digestive tract and keep it alive longer so that it crushes some of the food noise in your head. And we also have some that help you to lift your metabolism. We call it a workout in a bottle. And it actually helps retain muscle mass and helps you to burn more fuel even at rest. We didn't have that one before. So this is a really cool one. These are some of the handouts that I'm going to have for you. These are the different supplements that are available. I want you to know that they're all trademarked, patented ingredients that have been clinically studied. We'll talk more about that as we go through this. This is some of the ways we're going to get a protein forward approach, especially if you're postmenopausal or aging. It's hard to get all the protein in that you need to. So we have several options for protein. We have these wonderful, you can shake and bake with these. And we have a protein shake that's got 30 grams of protein plus creatine to help with your brain fog. And then we've also got a plant-based option that I can tell you about as we move forward with this. We've got lots of recipes to use all these different types of shakes and drinks. And the same one that you're using tonight. And we'd love for you to jumpstart your success with us. So this 6 weeks is really based on using this kit where you can get a discount to get what we know to be the best start for all of you. It will come with this detox kit. We'll be starting next week. If for some reason you can't start on Tuesday, you can start on Wednesday if you're traveling or whatever. But we'd love to do this together over the week. And we'll talk about what that engages, and I'll send out by email what the food list that you'll need, along with our daily essentials, which are our base nutrition. That'll come in the kit. And normally that's $77 all by itself. This kit costs $199. unless you bring a friend with you. We'll give you a 10% discount if you bring a friend with you. And then we've got the core, which helps stabilize blood sugar, lower bad cholesterol, slim your waist. It's got chromium in there to help stabilize the blood sugar. And then we've got two protein shakes in there. And I know some of you have specific needs for protein. We can always swap these out for this one or swap it out for the plant-based one, depending upon what your need is. We can talk about that more specifically. And that last pillar is body composition. We're going to talk about how moving your body, daily movement, not necessarily having to be a weightlifter, but definitely some things you can do to boost your metabolism by exercising muscle, getting your lymphatic system to move. We want to build muscle and burn fat. And we've got a whole dynamic workout plus more extensive exercises pages that you can use right from the back office. Or I've got some suggestions for apps you can use from home, whether it's chair yoga or simple stretches from Abby Mills or some different ones like that. Okay. Or some of you already have a gym that you like to go to and you exercise together. So that's fine too. All right. So it's for anybody to find their fit. And what makes us different is we're going to address some root causes like stress, sleep, cravings, and hormonal imbalances. We're going to personalize it to you based on your lifestyle and your motivation. We're going to look at how the glycemic impact is affecting your blood sugar and your energy. We're going to focus on muscle to increase the metabolic rate. And I'm the certified coach and a certified trainer. So here you go. You got me. So, all right. So we're going to do regular check-ins. We're going to meet here at 6:30 on Thursday nights from now until the 7th of November, the first Thursday in November. We'll be done by Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to create a Facebook page where we can interact. And I'm also going to put these recordings out there if you miss it. And then if you deem to go with us, I'll add you to the Facebook page where you can get answers from all of us. And we're going to have the ongoing education of the website where we've got 12 weeks of curriculum, lots of handouts to help you, short videos if you have a question about a supplement or a certain thing I've talked about, and this community of people to help you. So we're going to get started with your transformation with GoTrim, and you can join the thousands that have done it before, and some of you have been part of those thousands. So what we want to see is Kim's got the handouts. If inside there you'll find that we've got, do I have one here? Did everybody get one of these? This is our commitment sheet for those of you online. Let's see if I can stop this. I'm going to make Ruth run the PowerPoint in the future so I don't have to do both at the same time. I just want to stop. Let's see. Okay, if I hit escape, maybe it will do it. No?
See that red button over that guy's face?
Stop share. Yep, that's what I wanted. It came up. Thank you. Red button over the guy's face. There we go. It still didn't come back on here. Isn't that interesting? All right. So we've got 15 people I see joined us here. Awesome. This is our little commitment sheet. For those of you online, you don't have this paper copy, but you need to let the person know who invited you to this Zoom. It basically says, yes, I'm ready to commit to the next 5 weeks of class. I want to order my kit, $199. And if you're a guest here, you'll receive a free gift by ordering tonight with the person who invited you. You can check. Unfortunately, I can't attend at this time, but let me know about future wellness education events coming to Bismarck, which I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you we have a big event coming up October 16th and 17th. If you're in the mental health field or interested in mental health or need continuing education credits, ask me about that. And then we have some Zoom events coming up as well. And yes, I'm ready to commit. I have a friend who wants to come with me. I'd like to talk about the 10% off for bringing a friend. So if you put your name and your email and your cell phone on there, and I'm going to collect these. All right. Awesome. Okay. All of our friends out in Zoom world, I did manage to get that done by 7:09. And I thank you so much for being with us. And if you had a friend who was going to be on tonight and they need the recording, you'll need to reach out to me by email, pamtorg@gmail.com. And some of you who I know already had messaged me that you're going to need the recording. Okay, awesome. All right, I'm going to let you go on Zoom. Thanks for being with us. Beep. Thank you. You're welcome.